Hello, my lovely audience. Welcome to another video. So then, welcome to What If Deku was Mohg. Yeah, also, really quick shout out. Shout out to Kel Vickery. Yeah, shout out to him. For suggesting the What If. Anyway, back. Anyway, let's just get on with the What If. Now, Izuku in this What If was always a smart kid. In fact, unreasonably smart for his age. He always learned things at an almost unnatural rate. So, it was believed that he had an intelligence or learning quirk that was until the horns started growing in. Now, what happens with, the horns and that entire incident? Well, I'll get into that in a little bit. But, yeah. Anyway, time skip to a couple of years, to when Izuku's 5. A young girl about Izuku's age is running from, would run up to a couch as she would say, Izu, wake up! Wake up, damn it! A kid with a head full of horns, one of which intruding in on one of his eyes. His eyes would twitch, and he would slowly sit up, as he would say. He also has a face mask on, because it's a cool aesthetic, as he would go. Give me a moment. I told you not to tell me that. The girl would go, oh, yeah, sorry, Mohg. What? Morgad's birthday is coming up in like a week. Did you forget? We need to get him a present. We don't even have the cash. What are we gonna do? I don't want him to eat me. The aptly named Izu, or Mohg, or Izuku, would sigh and say, he isn't gonna eat you. If anything, he'd be pleased if you got him a butterfly or something like that. Hell, even a flower. That guy's easy to please. You don't know, the girl would say. He could be harboring some kind of grudge for me. Who knows? Izuku, Mohg, whatever you want to call him, would sigh and say, if it's so important that we get him a present, I think I have a workaround. The girl would perk up as she would quickly wave her arms around and say, come on, tell me. You always have the best ideas, so tell me already. Don't want to be eaten. Izuku would lightly chuckle and say, well, you could simply use your life quirk you have. Sorry if y'all can't hear me. I'll rewatch the video, and if, y'all can't hear me, I'll try and put subtitles. You can use that. Oh, I'm gonna talk a bit louder for y'all. You can use that life quirk of yours to just make him a flower crown or something. And if that doesn't work, we can always just set up a lemonade stand and get the money that way. The girl, who's named Toshiru. Yeah, Toshiru would sigh relaxedly and say, yeah, that's a good idea. You always have the best ideas, Mohg. Oh, always have the best and greatest ideas. Izuku would cross his arms, smirking, and say, I know. Yeah, Toshiro would just kind of get an annoyed look in her eyes as she would say, "Why don't I add humble onto that list too?" Zuko would chuckle and say, "Yeah, yeah. Look, if someone compliments you, might as well accept it." She would wave it off and say, "Yeah, fair enough. Now let's go. I really don't think we should, dilly-dally, considering we only have a week to get the necessary money to get him a half-decent present." Zuko would sigh and stand up, using a cane to balance himself. With the whole, having a horn through his fucking eye. Yeah, it's kind of difficult to see when that's going on. Zuko would simply balance himself using, his cane, and he would say, "Yeah, where even is Morgoth? It's not even a school day." Oh, yeah, apparently he went to volunteer at the library since, he wants to be prepared for your birthday since that's in a month. Zuko would sigh and say, "Goody two-shoes." Oh, you know you love him. What did I name her? Oh, Toshiru. Toshiru would playfully retort as Zuko would sigh and say, "Yeah, you got a fair point." And, they're off. Anyway, they're off to set up the lemonade stand. Anyway, yeah, in case you're curious, yes, Izuku's voice is a little bit deeper, and he's a little bit more mature than he would be in, canon at this age, but it's still the same kind-hearted Izuku. Well, probably not for long. Who knows, maybe he'll stay kind-hearted. I don't even know. But yeah, still the same Izuku, just slightly deeper voice, a little bit more mature, and a little bit lazier. Yeah. Anyway, Toshiru would quickly cut herself on the hand, causing, wood and plants to sprout up, as she would utilize her quirk to simply assemble the lemonade stand. Izuku would cut his hand and, paint the sign with blood. No one needs to know it's blood. It's just, no one needs to know that it's actually blood. They just think it's red paint. And Toshiru would also use her quirk to make, a few lemons. In case you're curious, yes, Toshiru is a reference to Malicula, I believe. Yeah, I think it's Malicula. Milkia. Just the sibling of the lady with the scarlet rod. I can't remember the names. It's like 12 o'clock at night. So, yeah. She is a reference to that. Just not gonna remain a child for eternity because that's a place that I won't even go. Not like that, okay? Like, it's just a place that I won't touch with my what ifs. Also, the reason I'm making him a female, mainly personal preference, but for plot reasons, they are genderless. Okay? They are physically genderless and can actively choose the gender of their body, so one day they're a girl, the other they're a boy, and Izuku has just defaulted to calling Toshiru, or Molecular, I can't pronounce the name for the love of anything, has just defaulted to referring to her as a female, so I will refer to them as a female as well. So, yeah, for plot reasons, they are genderless and just choose the gender they want to be for the hour, minute, or day. Okay. So, yeah. Izuku would then reduce himself to a pile of blood in Toshiro's shadow because no one wants to buy, well, at least from Izuku's experiences, no one wants to buy lemonade from someone who looks either like this or like this. Your choice. Anyway, so yeah, business would be going pretty good until, well, y'all know it's a Karen. A Karen would arrive, colorful hair and all, like fucking rainbow hair, like the defense mechanism of the poison dart frog type of hair, like it glows green. And no, glowing isn't her quirk. Her hair is green, and it's unnaturally green. And Karen. You can tell it's a Karen because of the bob haircut, expression that she's better than everyone, green hair, and glasses. No, she doesn't need them, she just wears them. So she would walk up to the table, see the price of, like, I don't know, $4, $3 for a glass of lemonade, and be like, I bet it's not even that good. Give it to me for free, and I'll taste test it and tell you if it's good. And maybe I'll consider paying you a cent if it's good. Toshiro would put her hands together and be like, no, that isn't the right price. She would then, well, the Karen would just slam her hands on the table as she would go, oh yeah? Well, good grief, heads. I have something in my throat. Give me a moment. Oh yeah? Well, now I know it isn't good, because who overprices? What kind of overpriced lemonade is this? Toshiro would respond with, mohg, or Izu, says it tastes nice, I guess. Who's this mohg Izu character? Is he your manager? Is he your father? I wish to speak to him this very instant. Toshiro, who's on the verge of crying, would say, he's my friend, and he doesn't like it when I use his name. But like, she's on the verge of crying as well. You know, blood would just kind of pool in her shadow as Izuku would emerge from it, and he would say, I am the Izu character. My friend here is talking. Oh shit, forgot the face mask. I am the Izu character she is talking about, and it is not overpriced, ma'am. Face mask? Because of those teeth. She would just slam her hands on the table. Again, like something out of Law and Order, as she would go, objection! Wait, why did I say that? I was just overcome with something. Incorrect! It is overpriced. No lemonade's worth four yen. Yeah. Zuku would just glare at her and say, try it. No, try it. But then you have to pay for it. I am not paying for this overpriced garbage, she would say, picking up the glass and throwing it. As, like, Toshiro would have a full-on breakdown, like, I won't be able to afford getting more out of birthday present. I'm dead. I'm so dead. I'm totally gonna die. And she is just now on the ground, crying, just absolutely crying her eyes out. As Izuku would just look at the Karen, point at Toshiro, and say, look at what you just did. You made this innocent child cry. I should whoop your ass. But he doesn't know any swear words yet. He's like 5. As the Karen would, like, put her hand on her chest and leaning back, hand on hips, hand on chest, be like, "Oh, you take me on? Well, I will have you know that I'm one of the few people who actually has a mutation type quirk, so you attacking me is quirkist." Izuku would just kind of blankly stare at her for a few moments before gesturing at his entire face as like the Karen would just be like, "Oh yeah, well I bet your quirk's some kind of emitter quirk and like these horns are fake," she would say, grabbing Izuku's horns and trying to like pull them out as like Izuku's one good eye would twitch as he would say, "One of them's literally in my eye. What do you mean they're fake?" What even is your quirk for it to be classified as mutation type? The woman would just stick out her fingers, her multicolored rainbow fingers, as she would say, "Oh, my fingers allow me to. My fingers change color with my emotions. They're currently green, angry, well, green for disgust, red for angry, etc., etc. It's like a fucking Christmas tree with the red, then the green, then it's like a damn candy cane." As Izuku would say, "Please just leave. She really wants to get my brother a birthday present on her own, and it's like this entire thing. Please just leave. Leave." "I am not leaving until I speak to your parents. Where are they? You shouldn't even be selling lemonade on the side of the road. You need a permit." Izuku, finally having had enough, would say, "We're orphans, okay? Are you happy? No parents. You made an orphan girl cry because she wanted to buy my orphan brother a birthday present. Great. Just fucking perfect." He knows fucking. Yeah, he knows fuck. That's the only swear he knows. "Look at you screaming and haggling with a bunch of children on the side of the road because you want free lemonade. What kind of person are you?" Zuko would say, just pointing at the Karen as she would just kind of look around her, slowly back up, and just run away as she would yell, "Ah, the black guy's gonna kill me." Oh, I am so sorry to any viewers of mine that are of color. That was a joke. A Karen racist joke. Zuko would crouch down and pat Toshiro on the head as she cries her eyes out on the ground, as he would say calmingly, "Don't worry. It's Morgoth wouldn't be mad if we didn't get him a birthday present. In fact, multiple times he's told us not to and save the money for food. Yeah. But, yeah, I'm pretty sure you doing all of this is more than enough of a present for him. Okay." "Okay," she would say, still crying. Izuku has the wings and tentacles. That shit. Yes, this is an image. This is an image that exists. Here's a good picture of Mohg's tail. Yeah, he has that. And the wings. But they're small right now. They are small. Not that small, but, like, not massive. He'll just kind of wrap his wing around her so she can just cry into it. Morgoth, or Tazuna, as his birth name was, would just kind of run up like, "Hey guys, what happened?" Izuku would turn to Morgoth and say, Well, Toshiro wanted to get you a birthday present, so she set up this lemonade stall, and long story short, Karen harassed us until she broke down crying. Oh, that's horrible! Are you okay, Toshiro? You would say, crouching down, just kind of patting her on the head as she cries. Zuko just looks done with life. At this point, just like so fucking annoyed with Karen. Last minute decision. Melania is also a part of this. And yes, Melania isn't her birth name, it's the name she made up for herself, in the orphanage. Well, not orphanage, they don't live in an orphanage because no one wanted freaks with mutation type quirks. Yep, the quirk hierarchy is in this one. In case you're wondering, the quirk hierarchy goes emitter, transformation, mutation, quirkless. It's just kind of a non-canon fan thing that exists where it talks about, essentially the master race, basically. Oh, that's horrible, but yeah. The individuals who have quirks, but still human individuals who have quirks, but it transforms their bodies, but still human most of the time, then individuals who are not entirely human, and then the lesser than human, the basic humans who don't have quirks. That's kind of the quirk hierarchy. Yeah. Which exists in this what if. So, yeah. Melania would immediately rush to her brother, sister, whatever side and immediately start comforting her, gently shushing her. And before you ask, yes, Melania still suffers from the scarlet rot. It still affects her, except in this what if, Toshiro can just regenerate her body, essentially, so she doesn't, lose any limbs permanently. Zuko would just sigh sadly seeing the sight of Toshiro crying as Bakugo, on a fucking tricycle with his, goons. Bakugo on a damn tricycle, all of them on their goons, would just roll up as Bakugo would go, "Ha ha, the bitch is crying!" Zuko would just kind of turn to face Bakugo, his eye kind of twitching, as he would say, "The fuck did you just say?" As he would immediately be scolded by Morgoth, saying, "Brother, language!" Zuko would just kind of turn to Morgoth as he would sigh and say, "Sorry, that was reflexive. I do believe that swear was called for in this situation. Just reflexive." Zuko would nod as, all three of them, Toshiro's still crying, Melina, Zuko, Morgoth would just kind of all turn to Bakugo angrily as, well, Zuko would stand up. Wings, once again, not that large. They're not they're not this small, but they're definitely not this big. They're definitely not that size yet. Zuko, flaring his wings, which are medium-sized compared to his body, he would then say, "Kachan, what did we ever do to you? Huh? What did we do, huh? Been your friends, but ever since, our crooks came in and we were dubbed freaks, you've been a massive jerk." As Bakugo would snicker, rubbing under his nose, as he would say, Yeah, I think the reason I don't want to hang with you guys anymore is because, well, not even Auntie Inko wanted you. So why should anyone else? Not even your own mother. Izuku being the more level-headed, well, yeah. Actually, the one who, once again, canon Izuku like at this age, except slightly more mature, slightly lazier, different name, all that jazz. It would actually be Morgoth who would try and jump at Bakugo, as Izuku would grab Morgoth and hold him back, as Morgoth would yell, "Oh, you fucking crossed the line this time, but I'm Bakugo. Let me at him, brother." As Izuku would say, just leave him. He's not worth the effort. Remember what happened last time you tried to get at him. Morgoth would eventually relent, sighing angrily as Bakugo would, his smirk would grating as he would say, "Can't even fight back. I guess I really am the greatest." As him and his goons would just roll off in their trikes. They're like 5 right now, and this is already so fucked up on so many levels. And yes, you heard me right. Izuku and, Morgoth, Tazuna, as his, birth name is, are biological brothers. And yes, they were thrown to the curb by Inko. Also, Melina and Toshiru, the only one of the 4 who uses their birth name, Toshiro are biological sisters. Sister brother, once again, Toshiro's genderless. The only reason I'm not using canon Lord of the Rings name, not canon Elden Ring name, is because I can't pronounce it. Yeah. But, yeah. They're biological sisters. The reason Toshiru was thrown out and not just Melania is because of how Toshiru's quirk awakened. Let's just say it was violent. All I'm gonna say. Anyway, they found each other in the brief time they were allowed to stay in an orphanage before they were kicked out. Just kind of became like a little family. So, yeah, that is your exposition of what happened to Izuku. Anyway, I have 3% battery. It's like 1 minute until 1 in the morning. I think I should end this off here. Goodbye, my lovely, lovely audience. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.